Arnold Schwarzenegger stars in a movie about the zombie apocalypse, and it's not quite as action packed as one may expect. So, tonight's movie that I'm going to be telling you about is called Maggie, and in this film, the zombie apocalypse is going on, but they're still kind of trying to contain it. There's still law enforcement, and there are still doctors who are doing what they think is best to deal with this. And Schwarzenegger plays this man named Wade, whose daughter has been infected with the zombie virus. And one of the doctors tells him that he's allowed to take her home with him and spend some time with her and get to say his final goodbyes before he eventually has to take her into quarantine. Now, as I said at the beginning of this isn't an action movie. If you're expecting to see Schwarzenegger gunning down a bunch of zombies while spouting one liners, then you are going to be severely disappointed here. And I wouldn't even consider it a horror movie, it's more of a drama film that just so happens to involve zombies. And there are some pretty gross moments in it, but there isn't really a whole lot of zombie carnage to speak of. It's really not that type of movie. It's more of a contained, character driven drama story. Now, the thing which initially had me interested in seeing this was when saw the first review for Maggie. I heard that this was Arnold Schwarzenegger's first time to really shine as a film actor. And I am a fan of some of his action movies, at least the more classic ones. Predator is one of my all time favorites. I love the first two Terminator movies. Total Recall, of course. And I even enjoyed The Running Man as a silly, kind of guilty pleasure type of movie. But to see him take on a more dramatic role in this had me pretty intrigued, and he does a very good job in the movie. I mean, a lot of the time I didn't even feel like I was watching Schwarzenegger. I felt like I was seeing this father who was dealing with a very difficult situation. And Abigail Breslin is the actress who plays his daughter Maggie in this, and she does a good job as well. I mean, you would half expect her to just kind of play this sick girl who's slowly transforming throughout the film, but she still manages to keep the sort of mannerisms of an average teenage girl throughout most of the film. So it's a very slow progression. And speaking of which, my only kind of complaint with the movie is that it took me a while to really get into it. Like, during the first half, it moves really slowly and it is completely joyless. Like, there's no levity to be had at all. And I was just thinking to myself, is this what the whole movie's going to be like? But it does kind of start to pick up for me during the second half. Like, the characters do start to show more sense of humor. They do become more likable and relatable. And of course, it adds more weight to some of the sadder moments that are to come. So, it does kind of play out very realistically in that sense, where during the first half, they're just dealing with the initial grief and just coming to terms with what's happening. So, I do admire the way that they made this film, and overall, I genuinely like this movie. And I know that it's not for everyone. Of the reviews that I've seen one guy just completely shit on this movie. So I know that not everyone's going to like it, but, I do. And if it sounds like the type of movie that you'd be interested in seeing, then Maggie does come recommended. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about this film. I hope y'all have a good one.